Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. Now, one of my favouriteest types of hats is a boonie hat. I wear these throughout the summer and sometimes in the winter, depending on what I'm doing or where I am. Anyway, so I've made two pieces of content. I made one last year, I made this year about my favourite boonie hats. Just as those pieces of content came live, Helikon Tex released their boonie hat version 2. So I picked them up straight away, hoping that I could get them back in time. I couldn't, so I thought it would be useful if we have some content now before the sun completely disappears here in the Northern Hemisphere. However, for our Southern Hemisphere brothers and sisters, this may be perfectly timed for you guys. Now I have two of these. I bought two different colours because these are the two colours that I liked. They're both exactly the same size. The one that I will be wearing throughout this is in the Rhodesian camo, and I also have this one here which is in the RAL 7013, which I think for outdoors use, both Ranger Green and RAL 7013 are my favourite kind of outdoor green colours, but there are other flat colours and there are other camos available. The material that this is made from a polycotton ripstop. It's about 50-50. I think it's 50% 50% poly, 48% cotton, and then 2% elastin, which is very similar to the original. Now, I think it'd be useful if I do bring in the original, because this is the one that I have here. I'm just trying to hang things on my camera tripod here, because I think it'd be useful to have a look at this one first. This is very similar, but this is what I would consider to be a true authentic style boonie hat. It has a reasonably long brim on this. When you hold it up like that, you'll see that the brim is reasonably flat. You can pull it down if you need to, but naturally it just wants to come out at a 90-degree angle from the rest of the hat. This has metal grommets that go all the way around here to help with air to be able to come in and out, and then you have some webbing here that runs along the outside of this. So if you need to attach some scrim to this, if you need to attach some foliage, whatever you need to do, maybe you just use this for fishing and you want to put some fishing hooks, you've got that on there. It also has an adjustable chin strap, and then on the inside it's fairly plain on the inside. There's no additional lining or anything like this, no additional kind of pocket in the top, and also on the top here, so it's a plain top, and also the back of it here is also plain as well. So this is the original Helikon Tex boonie. Now the version 2 updates, I'll just put that there, updates quite a few of these things, because I think the version 2 is actually closer to another hat which we will have a look at, but I think it takes some of those things and just kind of changes them slightly and evolves them into a newer, or what I suppose more of a short brim style boonie. So hopefully straight away you'll notice that the angle of the brim on this is quite a lot different. It doesn't want to stay flat. If I was to put this down on a flat surface, the rest of the hat would raise up because of the angle of the brim on here. The brim on this is roughly half an inch shorter than the brim on the original boonie as well, this being the boonie version 2. It does share some similarities. Hopefully on the outside you'll see, rather than having webbing, so this is that polycotton that I mentioned, so instead of using a different type of canvas webbing, instead this just uses a ring of the same material, which is actually doubled over. It is doubled over, so it is just a little bit thicker, and this goes all the way on the outside as well if you want to attach again some foliage or some fishing hooks to this. Similarly, it does have two grommets here on the left, two grommets there on the right, or I guess whichever way you're looking at it, to allow some heat to get in and out from that. Now some of the ways that this has improved, if I turn this all the way around to the back, so on the back here there is some hook and loop, and there is also some hook and loop here on the top as well. Same on this one, you have it here on the top, you also have it here on the back. Apologies, the wind has just lifted up quite a bit there. So if you need to attach anything to the back here, maybe if you're walking at night with friends and you will need to attach a light to the back, then you can have that. Or if you're out in an area with a lot of gnats or a lot of mosquitoes, you can attach your mozzie net to the top of this so that when it comes down, it'll stop that from moving around and hopefully keep it in a locked position on your face. The way that the chin strap has changed as well, so with the chin strap on the original one, it was just sewn in on either side. The only adjustment is if you pulled it up and adjusted it underneath your chin. So this one takes a newer kind of approach to this, where you have two eyelets, one on each side, and then this 550 paracord, 550 paracord passes through that, and then has a dongle on the back here so that you can pull this tighter. So if you do want to get this tighter on your head, at the moment I have it here at the back, you just have to pull that and then fasten it, and then that will allow you to do that as well. Now there are some attachment points. So I know on one of the recently released Helikon Tex shirts there was something that you could attach these hats to, and that attachment point is here. So you just have this extra bit of a loop of this 550 paracord. So if you did need to attach it to your shirt at the back so that if this did blow off, it would be attached to your shirt, you can do that here as well. Now that's not just where the changes are complete with this. You probably will have noticed then, just as I turned this inside out, that there are some differences on the inside here. Now strictly speaking, I wouldn't say that this was lined. However, I will say, so if I pull this apart, you might not be able to see this, but I'm pinching some material here, but I'm also pinching some material on this side as well. So it does have a dual layer of this polycotton material from the inside and on the outside as well. And then on the top here, hopefully you'll be able to see, which is exactly the same in this one as well. Let's see if I can put this on with one hand. No, I can't. I can't get that back on for a second now. It does have this high-vis mesh in here. You can use this for a couple of different things. Firstly, if you want to be able to store something in here, now that could be anything. It could be malaria treatment. It could be your daily drugs that you need to take. It could be a small map. It could be some paperwork, or as I mentioned, so if you do have a mozzie net that you can attach to this during the night or during the day, or if you're in an area that it's not necessarily needed, you can fold that up and you can put that into here. You can also as well, if you want to, you can also fold your hat into this as well, just so that it's just something that's maybe a little bit smaller if you need to be able to stow that away. Plus, with the high vis lining on this, if you're ever in a situation maybe where you were lost and you need to be seen, then you can wear this through the day, still protect you from the sun, but you have this here on the top so that you can be seen. Or if you're in a situation maybe where you want to hang this somewhere whilst you're, I don't know, doing whatever it is that you need to do, then again it will be something that you can signal to other people to make sure that they know where you are. The last little bit, which is a very nice addition to this, if I bring this back up again, is across the front here you have this really nice plush felt which sits against your forehead and just feels really nice. I think with the polycotton on here, it's not particularly an abrasive. It's not like 1000D Cordura, but when your forehead's wet and it's brushing against your forehead, if it does move around quite a bit, then it's nice to have that. It also helps to wick away some of that moisture from your forehead. Now, with me mentioning it moving around a little bit, these do come in several different sizes. I think they range from small all the way up to extra large. I have extra large because I've got a massive noggin. My head is a 59 to 60 centimeter head, so I went with the extra large. It's just a little bit too big, but perfect in the fact that if I use the chin strap across the back of my head and I cinch that down, it fits me just right. Now, I did mention that there is another hat. I'm just going to pick up the original Boonie from the floor for a second. So here we have that original Boonie. We then have the Boonie version 2, and then there is the CPU hat. Now, as far as Helikon Tex Boonie bucket style hats are concerned, the CPU hat really is my favourite. There's a lot of stuff going for this that I think over the original Boonie really, you know, it separates this as a class apart. Shorter brim, You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points on there to allow air to be able to circle through here. Instead of having that webbing around the outside, it has elasticated parts here. Really good if you want to attach scrim to this. Being able to fasten this down as well. And then plus on the inside, you'll see that this whole inside is fully lined with this mesh. And then you also have the same felt across the front here. This is the hat generally that I really do wear the most. It's incredibly comfortable. But what I think that they've done with the Boonie and then creating the Boonie II is they've actually created something that is closer to the CPU hat. If you're a fan of the CPU hat and you're after something that's a little bit kind of more scaled back, just a little bit, it's not got all of the features that this has, but it still has enough of the features to make this, what I think personally, is a far superior version to the original Boonie. Now saying that though, if you're a Boonie, Boonie purist, I think they're still going to continue with the Boonie version 1, because the Boonie version 2 definitely moves away from that purist version of what a Boonie hat should be. This is more of a short brim Boonie or a bucket hat, and very similar to the CPU hat. But all in all, I think if you like these style hats, I think the evolution that they've made to the Boonie version 2 is definitely a reason why you should pick this up over the Boonie version 1. If you've already got the CPU hat though, I'm not sure whether you should pick one of these. Well, actually, I lie. You should pick one of these up anyway because they're awesome hats. But if you're, you know, a one hat kind of person and you're trying to think of a reason why you'd have one over the other, I think the reason for this one is just because it's just a little bit lighter, it's a little bit easier to kind of roll up and stuff. I kind of lost my train of thought on that because it is a tricky one trying to get the differences between these two hats because they are now both very similar. I guess the end point on this should be reasonably, for me, if I hadn't have already have got one of these, I would have been incredibly happy with this. But then I'd still have both of them. They are both very good hats, but they're both very similar. I think I waffled a little bit towards the end. Hopefully that makes sense. But the Boonie version 2 is what I would say definitely highly recommended by the Moorlander. If you're thinking of picking one up, I would definitely pick one up. Now I will leave some links below. I did buy these directly from Helikon Tex. I do work a lot here in the UK with Military First. I don't know if they have these yet, but I'm sure they probably will do soon. So a huge shout out to Military First if they're watching this. Those guys rock. But yes, I did pick this up directly from Helikon Tex, so I'll leave their links below so that you can see more from them. I'll also leave some of my social media links below as well. And whether you're watching this on YouTube or Rumble, as always, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. Hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville, and this is Jackass. I'm not a jackass. I mean, I've been called worse, in fairness. EDC, hot off a piece of content that Hi, I'm the Moorlander, and this is Moorlander EDC. Hot. What am I trying to say? Hot on the heels. Is that the right word? How's that expression go? Piece of content on my favourite I got a bit lost on the end there. Hopefully you get what I'm trying to say. They're both very good hats, but I think the difference between the Boonie II... Oh, I put that on the wrong way around. No, I haven't. The difference now between the Boonie II and the CPU has definitely blurred the lines and the differences between the two. I do love these hats. They're so good. Boonie. Boonie? Boonie. Boonie! Boonie! That's it. Wednesday this is coming out. I know when this is coming out. I've planned ahead. So yeah, hope you're all having a good hump day. See you on Sunday.